Hey, it's State Rep Tom Morrison, and welcome to our online Kids Week. Today we are at the Lincoln Park Zoo in downtown Chicago. Now they're still under some attendance limitations and we're going to wear a mask inside, but we're going to join the zoo staff as we go and meet some of the animals. We're going to feed some of the animals, learn some interesting facts, and why don't you come on along? Our guides today are Ben Hunt, Manager of Interpretive Content, and the Zoo Vice President, Mary Beth Johnson.
I love being able to talk to people about animals. I get to spend part of my job just meeting people and telling them all about the work that Lincoln Park Zoo does, not just the natural history of the animals, but also all the conservation and science that we do here.
Great. And so if any of our kids back at home want to come visit the zoo, what are the best times of the year to do that?
Anytime. We're open 365 days a year, and the zoo is always free. Fall and summer tend to be really good times because it's not too hot out, but it's not too cold, and the animals tend to be pretty active when the weather's kind of in that middle spot.
And if kids have any questions about any of the animals, what should they do?
They should look for staff or volunteers, people who are wearing these zoo uniforms. We have a group of really great volunteers that love to talk to people about animals.
Great. Hey, Ben, thanks for showing us around.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
This year, the Lincoln Park Zoo is 152. It was founded in 1868, making it the fourth oldest zoo in North America.
So look out here. Now we have 4 of our zookeepers who are coming out, and there are 4 seals. So each keeper is going to be working with one of the seals. Do you see how they all went over there, and now a seal is going up to each one of them? So what they're doing right now, this is called training. And it's not just for show. They're not doing tricks. This is all to help take care of the seals. If you wanted to look at a seal's teeth, let's say, and see if they had healthy teeth, you couldn't just jump in the water and go swim up to one, right? So it makes a lot more sense if they're trained to come right up to you, and then you can just ask them to open their mouth, and then you can look inside. So every day the keepers do this 3 times a day to make sure that they get a nice close look at the seals. They even have them come out of the water, and they have them show off different parts of their body, like their flippers, or they have them roll over so we can see their belly. And that's a way that they can check in on them every day and just make sure that they're really healthy. It's also really interesting for the seals. It's something called enrichment. It gives them new things to think about and some variety during the day. Do you see how they're holding those poles too? The seals know that when they hold that pole right out in front of them, the seals know to go up and touch it.
But that one is even waving.
Yeah, and that one knows that if he holds his face right on the end of the pole for a nice long time, right when she blows the whistle, that's when it says, okay, you're done. So this is the zoo's lion house, which is a really historic building. It was built in 1912, and we're undergoing big renovations to make it a better home, to give more space to the lions. That construction will be going on all year or all summer, and in the fall at some point, we'll be bringing animals back in. Other than just the animals, yeah, Lincoln Park Zoo is also an accredited arboretum, which means we have a lot of different plants here, including this tree. That's a bur oak tree, which is older than the city of Chicago. It's more than 200 years old. So it was here before any of these buildings, before any of these animals, and it's still there. This is Nature Boardwalk, which is a part of Lincoln Park Zoo. It was created about 10 years ago. This is a human-made pond, one of the best views of the city.
The Lincoln Park Zoo is the only privately managed free zoo in the entire United States.
This little scoop, and we're going to fill it with some of the chicken's food. Just not quite all the way full.
Oh, they know what's coming.
Yep, they do. This is Beast. He's the rooster, and then there are a lot of females here too. And if you just stick it in like this, they'll come right up and they'll start grabbing food out of there. So all you have to do is hold it here. The one, you just don't want to put your hand all the way in case their beak comes and they think that you have food on your fingers too, and then they might try to peck at your fingers. But as long as you hold it just like this. And you can hold one right here, right inside like that. Okay, you can hold it a little bit lower too. Like point it kind of down like this so that she can find it. These different cows are what we call heritage breeds, which means they're not the most common dairy cows that you would see, like a Holstein. They're different kinds of breeds. The one back there with the nice stripe is called a Dutch belted cow. These came from farmers that are working to keep those breeds alive. They're breeds that have a significant, that were a significant part of American agricultural history. And by having them here, we can kind of talk about that. Not only how people care for farm animals today, but also the history of that and how we've done it in the past. So we have a couple of breeds of domestic goats. The longer ears are called alpine goats. They're a pretty common dairy goat breed. And the ones that have no noticeable ears or really small ears, those are called La Mancha goats. That's a breed that was developed in the US. And they're also a pretty widespread common breed that's raised. Now, when the farm in the zoo is open to the public, we open this yard up and people can come in, a few people at a time, and come in and help groom the goats. Okay. So we have brushes and they'll come out and help clean the goats' coats off. It's totally voluntary for the goats. If they decide they want to have a little more privacy, they can go back inside the barn, but they tend to enjoy it.
Species of birds and all sorts of insects, which we don't really count. We count the birds, but not the cockroaches.
The design of their skin confuses predators?
Right.
Okay. The Lincoln Park Zoo is home to more than 1,000 mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians. They have thousands of fish and insects, and the zoo collection represents approximately 200 different species of animals, many of which are rare and endangered. Exhibits here include big cats, polar bears, penguins, gorillas, reptiles, monkeys, and other species totaling nearly 1,100 animals. Okay, you were saying that...
Yeah, so our scientist, Dr. Steve Ross, has been instrumental in helping to pass legislation that prohibits chimps from the entertainment business, from being in movies or commercials, since they were not cared for very well under those circumstances. And there's an organization called Chimp Care that we founded that works to place chimps that have been used in the entertainment business or in roadside zoos to put them into sanctuaries. And it's been very, very successful. So much that there are hardly any roadside zoos anymore in the country where chimps are part of that entertainment business.
That was great. I'm using that.
Good. He literally went around all over the country to these places to meet with the owners, to talk to them about the welfare of the animals and the fact that, you really shouldn't be keeping these animals in your house and caged up. So that has been a project in the last 10 years that has really, really been terrific.